Hey guys, this is Comic Inno, and today I'm doing a review for Fresh Romance Volume 2. Now this is a Kickstarter I backed a little while ago. I read Volume 1 through single issues. I especially liked the high school storyline from Volume 1. I think it was called like Spirit Day or whatever. Really fun one. So I definitely want to go check out Volume 2. This is published by Emmet Comics. So, also guys, before I get into this, if you have any other indie comic books you would like me to review, if you're an indie creator yourself, please let me know, and hopefully I could cover it on my Indie Spotlight. And I've been trying to back up a lot of Kickstarters to spotlight on this show, and Fresh Romance was one of them. It took me a little while to read it because I've had conventions during the weekend and haven't been able to do the Indie Spotlight as consecutively as I wanted to, but finally had a chance to read this one. So let's get started. Now we do have about 4 storylines here. First one is called One Lucky Bride, and this one is a bit of a cartoonier storyline where this girl, she runs, I guess, a bar, and money-wise, she's not doing well. She loves her childhood friend and just never really had the guts to say anything. And now she has this opportunity to get married that day. That way she can get millions of dollars. And she decides to ask her friend, and there's a lot of miscommunication, and both these characters love each other. And now we have our main character's other friend, who runs the business with her, announcing like a newspaper or a internet letter that she needs to get married and she has millions of dollars if she does get married. So it's kind of all these hijinks coming along, and of course by the end the two best friends end up getting married. But there's a lot of, again, a cartoonish type storyline, but it's still very cute by the end of it. But there's just a lot of coincidences as the story goes on. Now, next story is a bit longer, and I think it's actually to be continued storyline, and this is Under the Oak Tree. And we get to see kind of a will they, won't they storyline between, like, I guess during college, these two college students, and seeing who will actually talk about their feelings. And that's, you know, cute, and I do like the artwork there. And I'm trying to see if there is a to be continued. It's definitely one of the longer storylines of the book. Yeah, so it is to be continued. We'll see how their relationship ends up going. But it, you know, it takes a couple of years for and this is how long you do have most of the book telling this story. But it's cool to see their relationship over the months, over the years, and it's definitely a slow burn. Now moving on to the next story, trying to get there, which is the last story. So there are only 3 stories in here, and that is Walk It Off, which was my favorite of the 3, where we get to see these, you know, 2 girlfriends. They go on a trip. So I guess they're from England, because they're not from America, and just the way they're talking, it sounds like they're from England. And they try to go on this road trip, and everything goes wrong, and they're also trying to discover what to kind of mark their relationship. What is it called? You know, they haven't really discussed it. So that was interesting to watch. Now another, again, I guess good and bad thing about this story is that it is to be continued. So it does kind of leave on, not a cliffhanger, but you're like, oh, I want more, but are we going to wait for the next volume? Do I have to wait for more issues to come out? So that's one thing I liked and disliked about it. And then we have a shorter story here, The Only One. And that's kind of more of a side story in the back over here. So there are technically 4 storylines, but that one's just a bit shorter. But yeah, that is my review of Fresh Romance. Definitely will pick up the next volume. I did like the first volume a little bit more, but it's still fun to see these kind of side stories and these different romance stories for the comic. And it's, you know, storylines that we've seen in the past, romance comics, but we don't really get to see in modern comics as much, so it's nice to see a whole series based on it. But let me know in the comments below if you've been reading Fresh Romance, if you are going to pick up the next volume, if they have another Kickstarter. Let me know your thoughts. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Inno, Comic Frontline. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, in the description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.